Again, I'm having a comedy of errors day. My name is Helen. Welcome to FreeThinkers Fireside, where we put the human and humanists one cozy chat at a time. I'm with this wonderful human being that inspired the show, Mr. Neil, the 604 Atheist. So, hi, Neil.
Shit. I thought there was somebody else here.
I am so I'm very excited Neil's here. He's been very patient because I've had a crazy time getting here today. So, but I'm here. So, late, but I'm fashionably late.
I call it rock star late.
Rock star late, exactly. And that's the only thing that matters. So, for people that don't know you, I'd be surprised. You know, there might be people that don't know you. So, who are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's lots of people that don't know me. So I am Neil, also known as Neil the 604 Atheist, like it says there. And I do deconversion stories on my YouTube channel. I talk to people about how they found their way free from their previous beliefs.
Okay, and you said you've been doing this for now 6 years?
Well, since 2018, so 7 years now.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, we're in a new year. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Give or take. I'd say about 6 years for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So what inspired you to do the channel?
Well, I watched a lot of like atheist content on YouTube and back in the day, and never really. I saw like a few deconversion stories, like they would pop up every once in a while, like on Seth Anders or other channels and stuff like that. And I thought, wow, I think there should be a channel that's dedicated to this. So that's kind of what I figured I'd want to do, because I also find the stories quite fascinating on how people eventually, think their way out of or find their way free of their old beliefs, right? So now, that's what inspired me to do it.
That's really cool. So did you grow up a believer?
I kind of wanted.
That a loaded question?
I kind of wanted to believe, but I don't think I really ever actually believed. I pretended to believe, I imagine, and I guess I tried praying and stuff like that to help people, and it never really worked. So. I kept thinking of things like, well, how the hell, the whole Noah's Ark story was like, this has got to be a myth. And, you get David and Goliath, you have Samson. This is all just sounds like mythology to me, right? So,
right.
I don't know if I really fully believed it. Yeah.
Usually mythology.
It is mythology.
Yeah. I haven't heard one religious story that is convincing. So from any religion. So weird.
Yeah, no kidding. So yeah, so I book people all the time. So if anyone's watching and wants to share, you can reach me at 604atheist@gmail.com and tell your story. But anyway,
it's a very good channel.
Little plug.
You have met a lot of people, and not that they're activists, but like just people that just want to talk about, their journey out of religion, which I think is great. Because I think for a lot of people, like, I hear this at RFR, where when you start, you think you're the only one.
Yeah, that's semi-common, I think. I hear a lot of people say, they couldn't believe and they were afraid because they didn't think there's anyone else out there like them until they found a whole bunch of people just like them. And, that's kind of why I do the after parties, because sort of to show that the community is there and that we've got people, right? We got your back kind of thing. If you ever
the after parties are fun.
Yeah, they are.
I've only been to a couple because I'm busy, but they're a good time.
Well, we try to make them fun. All the heavy stuff comes in the show, and then the fun stuff comes afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Well, yeah, you have to have the primer and then the good time afterwards. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're not always super heavy, but a lot of times they are. Like, I have some memories of some of the shows I've done where they talk about some abuse and stuff like that, and some of that's just pretty frightening and disturbing and sickening. So the kind of shit that happens to some people.
Yeah, I've heard those stories too, and it's just like I grew up Catholic, but my family wasn't abusive. Like I definitely got some bad messaging, but like I still had a wonderful relationship with my parents. I still have a wonderful relationship with my mom, but I know some people, had very, very difficult situations, and that just breaks my heart. Because like, no matter what you believe in or lack thereof, it doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. So
That's right. That's right.
So we're talking about the ways of deconversion. So what are the ways?
That's kind of a very
because you picked the topic.
Well, yeah, but I figured we might as well. I mean, if you want to have me on, we can talk about what I do, right? So,
right. Yep.
I think there are common threads among these stories. One of them would be a lingering fear of hell. A lot of folks have that. Right? I mean, if their religion has hell in it, because some don't. Hell, some have lots of hells. So, like different kinds of hells. But I think that's one of the things that sticks with people the most and is the hardest thing to sort of eventually give up. Because I think almost all the people eventually get over the whole hell thing. Although I've had a couple, at least, say that it still kind of lingers in the back of their mind, right? Because, what if? Well, I always tell them, don't worry about the what ifs, because the what if isn't an if at all. So you don't really need to worry about it. And I think another one is, especially in some of the more hardcore belief systems, some of the more fundamentalist belief systems, is losing their family and community, which hits hard for a lot of people, because one day everything's all hunky-dory, and then another time you come out and you say, listen, I don't really believe anymore. And all of a sudden you're shunned. Like everyone just throws you to the curb kind of thing. And I can only imagine how horrifying that would be for somebody. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things that I hear quite a bit about, especially in the more fundamentalist religions. A lot of folks also end up losing contact with some of their friends and family, even if they're not super fundamentalists, because now these people are sort of, I think one of the funniest things I heard one time was that people became afraid of the person, that because now they're one of those dreaded atheists and they don't trust them anymore. They don't think we have morals. Yeah, exactly. And so they're afraid of you now. So they don't want to have you over for those holiday dinners and stuff like that. And I think that's really shitty. But some people, you can't tell them what they need to believe about you. But I'm the same person I was, and I just don't believe what you believe anymore.
Right. And that's so weird to me, because it's just a different, you came to another idea, like a different way of looking at reality. It doesn't say anything about your personality. It doesn't say anything about, how you behave. It is just like, I just don't buy this anymore, or you're even questioning, and you're like, some people, like they leave like a faith, but they might still believe in God, but they might just think like religion is stupid. I hear stories like that too. Not so much like it's at RFR, we do get those people that just leave the religious structure, but they still have a belief in God, which is fine. I'd rather have that because your belief, as long as you're not telling me I have to believe in it, that's fine.
Go nuts.
Yeah.
However,
but I'm just gonna. We're gonna debate about philosophy if we bring this up.
I got to push back a little bit though on it doesn't change your personality. I think it does to some degree, because you no longer have a lot of the nonsense that you once believe as part of your beliefs. So I think you start to think a little differently. Your brain wiring changes a little bit, so you change a little bit. So, I think you change for the better, personally, when you give up those kinds of beliefs, because a lot of them can be quite harmful. So, and I'm also talking about, believing in things like crystal healing or pyramid power or auras and stuff like that, all the pseudoscientific new agey stuff,
I
is
miss those
also
days.
it has the potential to be harmful too, right? So
yeah, very harmful.
but again, even in that respect, because I've had a couple of folks on that were once a part of that, and even they lost friends because they weren't part of that community anymore because they gave it up. So it can be tough. And I even know one of the people that I interviewed a while back ended up dipping back into that a little bit.
I think,
So,
like, because as someone that was into all that weird woo-woo stuff,
I was too.
Yeah, it's.
Still got
I
my
think
crystal
also too
skulls.
for. I have a whole. You should see my living room. I still have it like crystals and so because
Yeah,
like
but
I
that's
like the
fine because
aesthetic.
they look good.
I like the aesthetic.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I'm with you there.
And there's some really good memories associated with some of the things that I own. So I'm not because it wasn't all weird shit. A lot of it
Right.
was, but it wasn't all
Sure.
the time. And I'm still friends with a lot of people in that community. My best friend is still a pagan believer, but he also knows that I'm an atheist and we just have a different perspective on it, and it's fine. That being said, I do agree with you. It does, like, once you let go of belief, and also when you start to question who you are without religion, it does change you if you have a good amount of empathy and like a good moral center to take responsibility for your own life and how you behave in your life. I think that is very empowering to people because you're not doing it to be beholden to your church or your deity. You're doing it because you want to.
That's right. Yeah. You're not doing it so you can be saved. You're not doing it for any reward. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. And because you want to be that person. You want to be a better person.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing, because like letting go of faith can be very difficult for people. Because there's when they're, especially at the beginning, when there's a lot of hand wringing, they're questioning, they're connecting the dots. They start listening to different ideas, and either they'll double down, because of fear, and fear will manifest in many different ways, or they'll start being intellectually honest with themselves, and be like, I can't buy into this anymore. And they're starting to be intellectually honest with themselves.
Yeah, we hope that people can do that. There's a lot of people that just can't, for whatever reason, they can't give it up, but I don't know any extenuating circumstances behind why they can't give it up, but it's like they just don't want to because they're just comfortable with that belief. So,
well, it works in the same place in the brain that the drugs do. So there's that. So,
well, sure.
And those neurons are connected like in childhood. So it can, because it's very hard to convert adults that are like have analyzed this and become skeptics. Like my husband has never been religious at all. And he just doesn't understand what it's like to be indoctrinated. My kids are the same way. I raised them as atheists. I was, and they're just like, I don't understand how religious people think. I'm like, you can't, because you didn't walk that road.
It's not in your mental capacity because you were never raised.
I can go back there and remember those days.
Sure.
And it's
sure.
And I cringe at myself.
I always laugh about the Christians who saying that they're the one true religion kind of thing like that. And I always say, well, I always ask, well, is your God loving and wants people to be on the right path? It wants people to be with him in heaven and stuff like that. Then why was I born in the correct religion and then given up for adoption and raised in the wrong one? It's like, why did that happen?
Yeah, see, those are the tough questions, and it's, I do a TikTok every Tuesday night until they get rid of TikTok. It's still up in the air right now. But if it stays ACA, I go on a TikTok live and I talk to people, and I have
think I'll
over the
crash your
past
party
year.
once in a while.
Yeah, over the past year, I've had some crazy conversations.
Yeah.
And but you can tell when the little flip is in their brain. They're like, huh, like, because when you start, kind of pushing them on their ideas, and I'm never mean about it. Like, I just be like, I just want you to think. I'm like, I'm not even telling you not to believe in God. I'm just telling you that, like, just because a lot of people are really like this book doesn't mean that God is real. Like,
right.
And
Yeah, popular.
I don't think they're not ever asked those questions. Well, John, if Christians get pissed off at you, maybe it's your approach. I'm just kidding. It's your British accent is not charming them anymore.
It's all good. Let them be pissed off at you. Who cares?
That's right. I love you anyway. Yay! Hi, Jonathan. Hi, my friends. So, but it's one of those things that, like, I don't try to, like, especially since, like, you've had a bunch of conversations, over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And I've had a bunch of conversations over the years that I try to have empathy to a certain point. I try to be kind.
Sure, of course.
Until you turn into a bigot, and then I have no patience for you.
Yeah, empathy goes out the window at that point. You start being asked like an asshole and a bigot.
Yeah.
Then it's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck you. Can I swear? Sorry, I didn't even ask.
Like, oh no, because there are plenty of people that are religious and aren't bigots and are progressive.
Yeah, sure.
So you don't have that excuse.
I actually just recently had someone on the show that was talking about just how progressive their church was. They had their pastor, I think they said, a priest or pastor or whatever, was a member of the 2SL LGBTQIA plus community. So, which I thought was pretty cool. And they embrace stuff like that. They embrace progressiveness and they embrace liberal thoughts and stuff like that, because in their minds, that's what Jesus would have done. So, yeah. All right. Sure.
And I think that's great. I think you're kind of ignoring some of the main points about your book.
Yeah, especially in the Old Testament.
But I also think that I have heard some. Sorry, I'm turning off my phone because I didn't realize I still had my alarms on. Shame on me. I'm not a professional. So I do think there are some people in these circles that they're biblical scholars on top of having a belief, and they understand when the Bible was written, that is written by men and not like people. They might have a belief. They even might think that Jesus was this really cool guy, and might believe in miracles, which is cool. But also at the same time, agree that this book, like, this is not, we should not be basing current moral standards based on a Bronze Age book or Iron Age, whatever. Like
really long time ago.
Like, we don't do that anymore. Like, and I think that that's important,
Yeah. I think we've evolved as a species where we don't need to be implementing stuff from ancient books about how to be moral, especially when they own slaves, for crying out loud, or the old eye for an eye bullshit. It's like morality police. So yeah, I mean, obviously there was a show, I think, or at least an episode of a show where this guy tried to live biblically, like actually biblically, like wearing the old biblical clothing, not mixing fabrics, and going around doing biblical type stuff, and he got arrested. So I think our moral system has changed quite a bit since people used to live biblically.
You can't stone somebody for working on Sunday anymore.
No,
Like,
no. You can't take your kids out in the front yard and kill them because they lied to you in front of the neighbors.
No, you can't sell your daughter into slavery either.
Nope. Nope.
So yeah. And it's very interesting that when looking at these moral standards now, like, and but they also want to say at the same time that, like, the Bible is the best moral standard ever. And I'm like, have you read your book? Like, I'm like, there's not some great stuff in there. I'm just gonna,
no.
And then they say, oh, it's out of context. I'm like, well, okay. I'm like, I'm reading the words in the book.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
but
ridiculous.
Everybody knows what God thinks.
It's the most immoral source you could get for morality.
John, I don't know why. Like, he's like, I'm just reading his story in the side chat, and I'm just like, wow, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, don't blaspheme, John. That was your fault.
I blaspheme all the time. It's fun.
So getting back on a little bit more back on track, like through the conversations that you had with people, like, have you found there's like a common theme how people came to let go of religion?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, there are things that you hear a lot, like, some people who were casual believers would actually pick the book up, like we were mentioning before. Reading the book can make you an atheist, so and I've heard that a few times easily, where people say, yeah, I actually finally sat down and started to read it because everyone kept telling me, what kind of Christian are you if you don't read your book? So I'm like, oh, I should probably read it. So
fair.
And then it's just, personally, I've read the damn things. I've read the Old Testament, New Testament, half of the Quran. I just couldn't do the Quran anymore. It sucks. But I've also read the Bhagavad Gita and other holy books as well, to just be out of pure interest. But this is many, many years ago. We're talking the late 80s, 90s, that kind of thing. Because I was interested in world religions and what people believed. And that's probably another founding reason as to why I started my channel too, is to find out why people left those beliefs. Because, a lot of them have some pretty cool stuff. But I think one of the common things is that I think they see how others are being treated by the members of their community, and if they have a moral backbone of any kind, then they're going to be like, wait a minute, this is not cool, right? Like, you can't treat my friend because they're gay or whatever in the fashion that you're treating them. They're still a human being. They just happen to have a different sexuality than you. Like, that's not cool, and I don't think Jesus would like that. Well, I don't know. Don't know the guy. Don't know if he ever existed. But anyway, I'm just saying, he was allegedly all about love and stuff like that. So it just seems to be anti-love. And a lot of the stuff like that is what can turn people off pretty quickly. Especially, and by the way, here's another thing: hitting college, getting into college and not being involved with like Christian schools anymore or stuff like that, or not being homeschooled anymore, and they get into actual college and they start learning what the world really is. That can change people's minds too, because then they actually are taught to start thinking a little bit more critically. And they're like, well, holy crap, I can't believe I used to believe this. And it just starts to domino effect after that, right? All the beliefs start to get unraveled like you're taking off your shoes. So that's a common one too, where they hit the college years and
that's what happened to me.
All the illusions are broken. Right. Yeah. You're an example of exactly
I took psychology and philosophy classes, and then all of a sudden that was, that started the domino effect. And then, henceforth,
that's
6 years,
common.
6, 7 years later, I'm like, yeah.
I've even had folks on that said they ran into somebody. It's actually, I think I've had a couple of people on that have had this happen, but they ran into somebody who was doing street epistemology. Somebody like Anthony Magnabosco or that ilk. And they were asking them questions that were making them start to think, and they took that home with them. So if you're wondering, folks, street epistemology can work on people. Because I've had at least a couple folks on that were spoken to by somebody like that, and it made them think and rethink things. And ultimately, again, dominoes start to fall. And once that starts happening, eventually it's just everything comes undone. Once you pull that thread on that sweater, everything just starts coming undone.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the biggest, probably the most common thing. It's not street epistemology per se, but once you get to a level where you're mixing with other people and they have their ideologies that aren't similar to yours, and you're asking them questions and they're asking you questions, and those little string at the bottom of the sweater starts being tugged at, and everything just starts falling apart.
Yeah.
That's pretty common. That's one of the, I think, biggest ways that I think people find their way free from fallacious beliefs. So
yeah. I think like, because I like just having conversation, like I might not see the person like, deconvert right in front of my eyes, because that doesn't happen, but you can like see the switch. They're like like, I never thought about it that way before, and that's helpful, because the more they are engaging in conversations where they're being challenged, the more that they have to not use apologetics. Like, how do you know this is real? Where in any other part of your life are you using faith alone to say something is real? And that's very helpful for people to start thinking about, like, well, why have I bought this for so long?
Yeah. Funny you say it that way. Why have I bought this for so long? I've also had folks on the show that, because they sort of said that to themselves, like, how the hell could I be so gullible and fall into these beliefs? They feel a little bit of shame too, and a lot of times that can lead to a little bit like mental breakdowns, stuff like that. They can become depressed or manic and stuff like that, which isn't uncommon. I mean, when people give up a belief system like that, which is a huge part of their life for so long, and all of a sudden they're free from it, and now they're stuck in this world without that, and it can be quite overwhelming, and it can lead to things like mental health issues and stuff like that. So yeah, it can be tough for somebody.
So that's why you should go, if you're going through that, to go to seculartherapy.org and get yourself a therapist.
Exactly. These guys right here can help
really. You. Yeah. It's on my water bottle. Everybody else, I volunteer for recovering from religion. You all know that. But also, like, secular, because religious trauma is a thing. It's being studied.
It is.
Yeah, and there's all types of new science coming out about it. It's fascinating, and also brain science about it. That people that have been raised in religion have different brains than the people that aren't, and the way that they view things in the world is very different because of their brain structure versus like how you and I would view the world. So it's very interesting. So
actually just watched a little, I think, a video. I don't know if it was YouTube or whatnot. It might have been on TV, where they're talking about how brains are wired, and when you start to lose the beliefs, especially things like religion or like I was saying earlier, the pseudoscientific new agey stuff, your brain literally starts to rewire.
Right.
It starts to breaks the old connections and makes new ones. So that does happen. And it also, it's funny too, because they're also mentioning how you will start to lose memories from your early childhood in the same way. You just, little connections break because you're forming new memories. So those old memories, like, I don't remember anything. I pretty much, I have one or two surviving memories from when I was under 4, but that's about it. Other than that, but my mom's got lots of memories of that. So.
The only one I have from before I was like 4 years old, I was about 2.5, 3 years old, and my parents had got me this plastic train, and you could see all the gears in it. And I remember dragging it across the floor as a child, a lot, like that is and there's photo evidence of it, so I know it's real. But, or my brain formed that memory afterwards, and I think it happened before I like it's a new memory because
Did it form the memory from somebody telling you about it?
Because the brain doesn't recognize old memory from new memory. Every time you have a memory, it registers as a new memory. So because our brains rewrite history. So
we do. Yeah, your brain fools you every day. Every single day.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I don't tend to like, and it's very interesting as someone that like studies psychology and understanding like how the brain works and how motivated reasoning and cognitive bias and Dunning-Kruger and understanding all these different things about
a lot of that these days.
Oh yeah. It's interesting. Very interesting. It's interesting. And once you have a even just a layman understanding of those things, you tend to view religion in the same light, and then you understand why people believe the way that they do, and it all comes down to like, I feel very motivated to think that my God is super special. So,
Oh, he's special, all right.
Oh, he's super special.
Special category for
God is a very, very special boy.
Imagination.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Hi,
People are so nice. I have the best audience.
Happy to be here.
I know all the best people.
Jason. Sorry, I haven't been paying much attention to the chat because I'm easily distracted. I'm like one of those guys.
No, it's fine. I keep it because I'm a good host. So, so over that you mentioned people's one of the ways they got out of religion is reading their holy book. What other ways have you heard from people that got them out of believing in unbelievable things? So
I think there are other reasons why. There's lots of reasons why people finally get out of fallacious beliefs. Another one it's not like super common, but somebody that was important to them in their life passes away even after they and many, many people prayed for this person to be saved and healed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then that happens to them more than once. Now there's a bunch of people that this happened and no results from any prayer, no results from community getting together and praising the Lord or whatever to save their friend or relative or whatever. So they start to have doubts, and it's not just that can cause doubts. It's like there's lots of other things that can start to cause doubts. So when you start having doubts, you start to look into why you're having doubts. A lot of people told me they'll start looking up, why am I having doubts? And of course, they start using Google. Obviously, their algorithms on Google are going to be geared to what they're usually looking for. So there's going to be some religiously based answers to why you're having doubts at first. And one person told me at one time that they were looking through some of these and they go, that's fucking bullshit. That's not why I'm having doubts. I'm having doubts because, I'm told that God is all loving and he'll if you pray hard enough, he'll cure whatever ails you, that kind of thing.
You're supposed to be able to move mountains.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So when they have stuff like this happen and there's no results from their daily hard prayers, then that can start causing doubts. So they start going, okay, I got to look at I'm going to go to a different website, a little bit more of a non-biased website, and look to why I'm having doubts. And there's all kinds of people that drop in their reasons for why they were having doubts. And then other people like Reddit would be one. Like if people go to Reddit and see the doubting section or whatever, it's there. And they hear the stories of how people start doubting, and all of a sudden numbers start going, or numbers start clicking. Like, oh, I had that too. And that's a reason why I started doubting. And then they start reading stories of what happens after the doubting comes. And they're like, holy shit, okay, so that person really quickly started not believing because they just couldn't see a reason to believe anymore because this deity, their favorite deity, was not acting on their behalf. And it led to other things, So, I mean, that's another one that I've heard of before where people are starting to doubt, and that causes the questions to start coming in. And that could lead to freedom of chained up mind. That's for sure. Because that's what I look at it as.
Yeah, exactly.
You're shackled to your beliefs.
It's very interesting because the internet, and I always say it's a double-edged sword. You have all the information, and also you have all the information, whether it's good information or bad information.
That's
it's
right.
All of it. But if you're starting to, a family member passes away, especially if they went through like a very extreme illness or a child dies, and
that was one of the stories.
Yeah, so heartbreaking. I was at a faith healer thing, and you could I was with the Satan Temple. It's a separate story.
The most dangerous people
we
in the
were
world.
there to observe, and I couldn't even fake it. I was so angry. And there was this couple, and they had like a 6-year-old daughter you could tell was extremely sick, and it just broke my heart. And so these are the people I fucking hate. I hate grief vampires. They're terrible. Preying on people's vulnerability, and I would imagine if that child passes away, and I hope they don't, that they tried everything and God still took their little baby girl away, and what that does to you, and I don't think there's any comfort. I feel like people think like, oh, it's, God called our baby home, and it's like, no, because I would, maybe just me, I wouldn't find that comforting if I lost my child as a parent.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. It's I think when you're in that zone and you're grieving over the loss of a child, especially if they were an infant, I don't think anyone can penetrate that sort of temporary dome you've got over you because you're grieving so hard for something like that. I think it's really hard to get to somebody or to speak to somebody or try to help them or try to make them feel better. It's hard because it's going to take them a few days, if not longer, to sort of come around, I guess, a little bit, and where you're actually able to speak with them and they'll actually listen, because there's so many things going through someone's mind at that point. So it's tough. You want to be there for them, but you got to give them a little bit of space to grieve a little bit, but then you can be there to comfort them.
Yeah, and as Scott, that's when the vultures strike, and that's the thing that is so sad is that because I know people, there's well-meaning people that are saying God called your baby home. Okay, I don't think you should say that, but I understand why. Because that's what you've been taught to say. Instead of just instead of just being a person and just saying whatever you need in your own time, I'm here. Which should be the response.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think that's the proper response. But also too, there's just awful people. There's just some people that will do things that to get attention or feel if a pastor is like, well, I'll this will bring you closer to God or whatever, and I'm like, dude, just don't do that.
Yeah, no, that's not fucking help. What good is that going to do you anyways? Oh, you're closer to God, so what?
Yeah,
why didn't he save my child? Fuck him.
Yeah, it is. It's special, and I think those are the stories that really break my heart. Just as a parent and just as a human being,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any sort of like feeling where I would be like, yeah, like, oh, that makes perfect sense. I would be like, you're an asshole. Leave them, let them grieve, and just be supportive, And it's just one of those things that, like, and I understand, like, we've had, not you and I, but I've had plenty of conversations with people where they said, and even religious people say, they thought they were being comforting, but it was not. It did not fix it. I'm like, because it can't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. It's save it. I don't need to hear that kind of shit right now. What I need is somebody to give you a hug or to tell you everything's going to be all right, and that it sucks that this happened. And and even the other shit that you hear, like, oh, they're in a better place. What do you mean they're in a better place? What the fuck does that even mean? It's like, don't fly that bullshit in a situation like this. That's just stupid.
It's gross. Because like
they're not in a better
like
place.
If my child passed away, I'm like, no, they're not. I want my child with me. It's not a better place, like they're
the
dead.
best place is to be alive and here with
there's no place.
Friends and families. Yeah.
So it just gross. I'm not a fan. And
I know they mean well, but it's like, no, don't say shit like that.
Yeah, don't. Like my father just passed away in July. My family is still reeling. Like my brothers are. They have some problems. Like, I'm not disparaging my family. They're just going through the trauma of my dad dying, even though he died at 92 years old. And I think for them, they're religious and I'm not. And they don't, like, one thing I got was like, if we're talking about, leaving religion, when you're the atheist and you don't buy in, the family doesn't know what to do with you because you're not living in the same realm. You're like, I miss my father and I miss him every day. And I think about him every single day.
Me too.
I miss him. I loved my dad a lot. And occasionally, like, the grief hits and I just start sobbing my ass out because I miss my dad. But I don't have that hope to see him again, But I heard a really great thing that got you thinking about, like, why would you be, if you're a believer and somebody dies, why would you be sad? Because to them, you're like, they went on vacation and forgot their cell phone. If you're going to see them again. And it's like, that's the way to think about it. Well, but like, that's the kind of attitude, like, if you're hopeful that you're going to see your family member again and you think life is eternal, like, which is not, but like if you're coming from that, if you're a believer and you believe that,
sure.
Yeah. And I'm like, that checks, if you have that mindset. Like, even still though, like I do kind of, like, as a thought experiment, I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see it. But also at the same time, like even religious people, I think on some level know that you're not, it might not happen. Like, on some level.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to give them those kinds of words of comfort. It's just be there for them. Don't lie to them and tell them that they're going to see them later or whatever. That's just, and I get the religious people actually believe that that's going to happen. But when you're dealing with somebody that isn't a believer, don't spread that nonsense all over them like it's fucking peanut butter or something. Just don't.
Luckily, I didn't get a lot of that when my father passed away, which because I hang around with a bunch of atheists. My friends are atheists, like, are non-believers. Everybody's just like, "I'm sorry, your dad died, Helen." If you need a hug or some, shoulder to, like, to listen to,
just someone to talk to.
That's all I needed. I didn't even reach out that much. But it was just for people to say, like, I'm thinking about you. It was just nice,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all I need,
Thinking about you when you're going through something pretty hard.
Yeah. But like, just talking from my own experience, I'm sure you heard stories where people, like you said, when people die and you start to deconstruct, and then when you leave and then you're the only atheist, or and you're like a parent or another family member dies or a grandparent, they don't know what to do. They really don't, because they're banking on their parent, that they're going to see their parent or that person again.
Yep. Yeah.
But now you are the person that doesn't think that's going to happen. You're
That's
just like, they're dead.
That's it. It's over. But you got your memories of them, right? So I tell people, just try and live a good life. Don't you don't have to be, just, if you want to be remembered, then live the best you can and do something that people are going to remember. Because you're not going to be remembered forever. That's the truth of it. You're not going to be remembered forever, right? Like, you're not Isaac Newton.
One of my friends, she told me this like years ago, and she goes, when I die, I just want to be able to, before I die, if I can, and I'm, when I get towards the end, that I can look back on my life and know that I did good. That's all I want. And I was like, that's a good goal. I think that's a great goal.
Yeah, that's all I want to, is just every once in a while, I might come up in a conversation and be, oh yeah, I remember that guy. He was pretty cool. He did a lot of cool things. He was a good person. He did what he could to help people, which is what I'm trying to do. It's just my whole goal in life, is to be as decent as I can and try to help people.
Listen, we're on the internet. We're going to live we're on the internet, Neil. We're going to live forever.
Nothing. Digital me will be here always. Oh, well, who says the internet's going to be here forever?
Listen, future aliens, if you're watching this video, there is no God. I'm just kidding.
They're probably like, yeah, we know.
We know. Oh, my Lord.
If you go by that thought, they could be like, if you go by that train of thought, they could be like, yeah, we know we created you, you fucking idiots. You're one of our science experiments that has gone wrong. Look who's in office. You got to put that idiot stick in office.
I don't remember if I was talking about this on my show or another show. I don't know. I talk a lot. I'm in these spaces so much, it all bleeds together. About simulation theory, and that's like a new
science, which is fucking,
we're all
it's fucking nonsense.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's the same thing. I'm like, you're just, and I said, and again, I always say, I don't even if I am like, I'm living in the fucking Matrix,
You'll
whatever.
Never know,
I can't tell, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
Right. It's a pretty damn good simulation, because I don't want to be simulating stubbing my toe in the middle of the dark.
Right.
It's like, why does that hurt?
Like, I'm like, yes, I'm
stepping on a Lego piece.
Like, also too, like, I'm smarter than my Sims, because like, a Sim will not go to the bathroom and just pee on the floor, and like you put a bathroom in their house.
Actually, speaking of things that happen in the dark, like you stub your toe or step on stuff. By the way, I have an anti-invader kit here. They're little tiny Lego pieces that I have here. I just sprawl them out all over the floor in case somebody tries to break in. They start stepping.
That is a good booby trap.
I thought so too, and then somebody said, "What kind of burglar comes into your house barefoot?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point." That's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point. Well,
that is a good
back
point.
to the drawing board.
Well, hold on though. What if you are a burglar and you have noisy shoes and it's tile?
Well, there's that too. Yeah,
there's that.
Damn, I knew I should have went to ninja school. I always tell people I'd make. I love that. Ninja.
My house is mostly carpet, so burglars are gonna.
Oh, so you can like rub your feet on the carpet and then go around and shock people.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Legos, Martin Robert was on last week, and he said that he thinks you're awesome, and he's doing him and his husband Matt are now doing a bunch of Lego stuff together as a hobby. And I said, oh my God, and then your name came up because you are now associated with Legos in my brain.
Yeah, well, not surprising, Considering I've got a pile of fucking Lego around here, including stuff like this with little all the Dungeons and Dragons ones in there, and they even have one of a little kit that
I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons this Saturday.
Little kid in his bedroom with a spspaceship that he makes.
Oh, I love those. I want to get the succulent. I want to get this the Lego Bible. Do you have the Lego Bible?
Oh yeah. I've seen the Lego Bible. I don't have it. I really don't care.
I don't know if I want that. Like I would love the Tower of Babs door, but it's $500, and I don't have that type of money.
Yeah, a lot of my sets are well over that price. But I just picked up
like I just want to sell for like like the bonsai tree so I can have it as a centerpiece.
Bonsai tree
like cool. For my kitchen table.
I don't even have that one. I don't know. I didn't get into the botanicals much. But I did find, because they're pretty hard to find for a little while. They're a little bit rarer. So it's one of my more rare figures, and it cost me a little bit of money to get. But it's Luke Skywalker with the blue milk carton, and he's got a little blue milk mustache.
I love him.
Blue milk mustache.
I like this little mustache. That's so cute. Yeah. I love that.
So, yeah, it's awesome. But it cost me like $60. So
I would imagine
eBay.
Was it a collector's item?
Oh yeah, it is. It's it wasn't a mass-produced one, so
another
one I quite like.
But like 60 isn't that bad. Like I can think of things that I've
the little pink droid, QTKT.
Oh my god, it's so cute. Like,
it's not actually the color that QTKT actually was. It's more white with the pink trim, but they just went all out with the pink. So
that's so cute. You are the king of Legos. Well, not the.
I wouldn't go that far.
But I'm probably I probably get like some of the smaller adult sets, and I want to get the succulents to put around my house.
Those are pretty cool. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the little plant ones. And my friend has Hogwarts assembled in her house that her and her husband did, which is very cool. They said they spent like over $200 on the set, and they were like, now that it's done, it's just a centerpiece. Be on my house all the time. It's really cool. And like there's certain things that like I would like to have, but I just don't have the patience. And I have ADHD. I get distracted. Like I just need a small project.
From what I hear from Lego fans, is one of the most tedious sets to put together is the Eiffel Tower.
Really?
It's just the same piece, and
so
it's just
thin?
repeat all the way around. Repeat. So, but it looks pretty cool when it's finished, and it's tall. It's like 5 feet tall. This thing's huge.
Yeah,
it's one of the most piece Lego sets.
What's your biggest piece?
UCS Millennium Falcon.
Okay, and you have that hanging in your house?
Pretty close to. No, I haven't put it together yet.
Oh, okay. That's a goal.
Yeah, it cost me like $1,000, so it's a big one. The thing is huge. It can be. You can actually. I've seen this before where people take it and they build coffee tables around this piece, so it sits under the glass and it's this giant.
Oh wow!
Huge piece. So one of these days I will get that.
That's impressive. God,
I started doing instead of just the deconversion stories. I started doing the first Saturday of every month. We start doing Lego streams where it's just me and some of the guys and hanging out, and some of the crowd, some of the kids, and hanging out while I build something out of Lego, and we just shoot the shit and have some fun. Just change things up a little bit. So if you're into watching like Lego stuff, you can definitely check that out. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool. That's cool.
Sometimes you have other people jump in and build stuff too.
Like we know so many people that are doing so many cool things that I don't. But also at the same time, like I can't be online all the time. Like I love you all and I support you, but I also have a life.
You need some you time, right? You need some you time.
Well, yeah, I'm also like my husband likes me and wants me to hang out with him. So
that's good. Good that he likes you.
I know he does. He loves me a lot. He's working on my theme song for this channel. So because he's a musician, so he's writing a song for me because he's a big old sweet potato, so.
Aww.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good dude.
I've written lots
He's
of
very
songs
supportive. Like, he is not an atheist activist. He's very supportive of what I do, but he's just like, I
don't care.
I don't care. Well, yeah, because he knows I care and he supports me, but I think because I was religious and I had bad ideas and everything feeds into the other, especially like with my progressive politics and the way that I think and view the world, that everything just kind of feeds on top of each other with it, that I'm just like, I just got to do something and feel like I am doing something. Try to make the world a little bit better.
I just have to address something I see in the chat here where John Lovell says Luke was an atheist Jedi priest. Luke was not an atheist. First of all, an atheist requires a deity to believe in, and Jediism doesn't have a deity. So
Jedis just believe in the Force.
Yeah, the Force. That's it. Not a being. You just have the right midichlorians.
Midichlorians,
yes.
You have midichlorians. Is that canon? I think it's canon.
It's canon. Well, they made it canon.
It's canon. Is it stupid? Kind of.
No, the first time I heard it mentioned.
Okay, I'm going to take that back. That gives at least a sci-fi explanation of how the Force works.
Yeah.
So,
or how Force users work.
Yeah, for Force users. Yeah. So, like, I can kind of see it. I'm going to go with that. I feel that I can dig that.
Yep.
Yeah, you can be a Jedi. Is it? I think it's legitimized in the. Is it legitimized in the U.S. Constitution? Jediism.
No, they'll allow you to
do you get like if you die? Do you get like the rebel symbol on your?
No, your Jedi symbol.
You get the Jedi symbol. That's cool.
Rebels are different. Jedi is the wings with the sword.
I want the Star Trek symbol on my grave.
I have the Jedi symbol on my bearskin, because the bearskin hoodie that you can buy comes with patches. You can put patches on, like military patches. So I put Rebel on one side and I got Jedi on the other side. And I got a whole bunch. I got Empire ones and I've got the Leaf Village.
You are a Star Wars fan.
Naruto. I am. I've got the Akatsuki patch. I've got a glow in the dark Jack Skellington patch. I've got a Punisher skull patch. I've got Rebel Scum with the Millennium Falcon on it. I've got This Is the Way on, so I swap out my patches all the time. Also, my lunch bag that I take to work has a little Velcro thing you can put patches on too. So I stick them on there too.
That's awesome.
I'm just a giant child. Right, growing old is mandatory. Growing up,
like,
is
you should see how many plushies I have my green screen up right now, but I have a bunch of plushies over here, mostly Cthulhu. Like, so many.
I've got. Well, I can't fucking tell how this works. I got Tigger. I got the dragon from Disney. I got Bill the Cat, Ren and Stimpy. I got a bunch of different stuff.
Oh my god, I haven't thought about Ren and Stimpy in years. And I used to watch the shit out of that show. We're in the same age group. So, like, we're really
completely big watching Ren and Stimpy.
So I will say this, like, maybe like 15 years ago or so, I watched old episodes and how gross it was, like, so uncomfortable as an adult, like, to watch that show, because I'm like, oh my god. Like, when you're 14 goblins. You're like, you think it's funny, but as an adult you're like, oh my god. Like,
no, I still like it, still think it's funny.
I'm not saying it's not funny, but there was just some visuals that,
oh yeah, they get nice and close.
Yeah. But also too, explains why I like SpongeBob so much. So here we are.
That's pretty funny too.
Because I love irreverent humor. So it serves as in a galaxy far away, the vineyard. Then didn't the sweet your Yahweh make them? Yes, Scott. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fritz the Cat. Oh god, I saw that when I was like in my teen years. I was like, wait a minute, is this like a cartoon porn?
Was that the one that Was that the guy that also did the Lord of the Rings movie?
Bakshi?
Bakshi, yeah. Was that guy?
Bakshi, Ralph Bakshi.
Bakshi, yeah. Bakshi. Didn't he do a Lord of the Rings?
They did a special Ren and Stimpy episode with him, too.
Oh, cool. I didn't. I don't remember it, but I'm
yes,
sure
I believe
I
Ralph Bakshi.
And I probably watched it again.
I don't know if it was Lord of the Rings. I think it was Wizards that he was involved with. Another animated movie called Wizards.
Oh,
Aaron Ross here?
Oh, yeah.
What?
I'm having flashbacks from childhood.
I suspect that Neil may be a nerd. I think you know that by now, Aaron.
Yes, Aaron. Yes, Neil is a nerd.
How you doing, brother?
I think we all are. Listen, I live for my nostalgia. Okay. My favorite movie when I was a little kid was The Neverending Story, and I'm like a couple of years ago, my oldest got it for me on Blu-ray, and I said, "You're going to watch this movie with me," and they were like, "What is with the 80s fantasy movies?" And I'm like, "This is my favorite movie." You know what? I'm like, I had it on VHS and it was on cable. It didn't matter. I would watch it.
He did. Oh, so he was involved with Lord of the Rings. Thank you, Aaron. I knew.
Yeah, there was a.
I couldn't remember if he was or not, but he did Wizards.
I think, because he did the rotoscoping.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it was all very weird because they tried to put. I think they did like some of the Fellowship and a little bit of the Two Towers, and got to Helm's Deep. Just kind of. And then it kind of just ended. like
I know
Frodo never made it to Mount Doom.
Still good. I liked it, but it was still kind of.
I think it's right, and the music is sick. I'm sorry. Whipping away, it's Bob. And
Wizards was done in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, somewhere in that range. Pretty sure.
I haven't seen Wizards. I'm gonna probably have to. I bet it's on Amazon Prime. I bet I can find it.
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
You can. It's on there. It's on there. You can find it there. Anyway,
how many? Since Aaron's here, how many snakes are you up to, Aaron? We just got. We have just the one snake.
I don't have.
I'm just curious. I haven't seen Aaron in a while. I want to know how his snake collection's going.
70s,
I do have topics, but this podcast is just for people that I have a topic, but if we move on to something else, start talking about bocce. So that's gonna happen.
Aaron said, "What? How many snakes are you up to?"
Yeah, how many snakes are you up to, man?
Somebody asked if I found the One Piece yet. Nope, still looking. There you go. I am a straw hat pirate, so there you go.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Lego pirate too.
We have one snake. We have a boa. His name is Loki, and he's a very sweet boy.
Oh, I had a jumping spider named Loki.
I have a jumping spider. His name is Tonka.
Cool. I like it. I've had a bunch of jumping spiders.
I have 3 cats, a jumping spider, and a snake.
70 snakes.
Wow.
I'm a baby. Well, I'm not quite a baby, Jonathan. I'm 58. That's not really a baby, but I'm still a baby up here.
I'm never going to grow up. I can adult, but I am never growing up. I will collect plushies and talk about all the stupid things that I loved as a child till the cows come home.
Certainly.
I'm never growing up. It's dumb.
Ask me how excited I got when Lego decided to start doing space sets again. I was like, yes, because that was what I loved as a kid.
I think that's a great hobby, though. I want to take a cross stitch. I want to start doing cross stitch, but I want to do like poisonous plants and hang them in my house. Because that's just my vibe. And that's my I want to have like hemlock and nightshade, and cross.
That's it. That'll keep people away
around my house.
Yeah, growing up is overrated. Growing up Well, growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional.
Yeah, I do not want to grow up. It's too boring because then you're not fun.
Okay, you win the oldest prize then, John.
John, you're an old man. We all know. I love you, but you're an old man.
Why can't we age
I
back?
went from childhood to adultery.
To adultery.
I have the best audience.
That is why we are friends.
Yes, exactly. You were always an adult, John, really. Always. You came out of the womb that way.
Oh, your poor mother.
I know, right?
Yeah, aging sucks.
Oh my God.
I know aging sucks. I even have a t-shirt that says everything hurts and I'm dying. So
yeah, that's like there's certain, like if I make references to like 80s and 90s stuff, I'm like, if you got that reference, your back hurts.
Like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a pretty.
That's how I always feel. I'm like, my back always hurts.
I never matured beyond 13. Yeah, me either. Up here, anyways. That's why I still remember.
I still like. I live with a man, and his humor comes out about like a 13-year-old boy. So,
yeah, fart jokes and dick jokes, and
fart jokes and dick jokes, and boob jokes.
Of course,
and sing songs about scrotums. That's the man I live with.
Yikes. Yeah, this is what we look like when we see boobs at the age 13. This is what we look like when we see boobs at the age of 58. It's the same thing, right?
Everybody likes boobs.
This is so not anything about deconversion.
This is not about. Well, I did design this channel for people to talk about whatever they want to talk about. It just devolved. So
yeah, well,
I can get us back on track. Like, it was only 10 years ago. All the time.
10 years ago. Yeah. When people say the 80s, I think, that's a couple years back. Yeah, the 80s,
that's a couple years
ago. Wait a minute. What do you mean it was 40 something years ago? What?
Like, I was thinking the other day about like when I had my pogo ball, which was a thing you had in the 90s. Do you remember pogo balls? The thing
you put around your ankle and you would spin it and you had to jump over.
That's a bop it. That's a bop it.
Oh.
A pogo ball
bop was the thing that you played with and you hit it. I don't know.
No.
Never had one.
No, okay. A bop it was the thing that spun, and then you jumped over it and it had a counter. Okay, which my parents did not buy me, but they bought me a pogo ball, which was a rubber ball, and it had a platform on it that you would hold it with in between your feet, and you would jump up and down.
Oh, I remember those. They kind of look like Saturn.
Remember those? I thought about that the other day. It was a random. I'm like, what were my parents thinking? This is when your parents did not care about your safety.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like the lawn darts that used to be made out of metal.
I know. Oh my God.
Weaponry.
Oh, I remember we used to have a croquet set, and it had those really, really heavy balls. I mean, my friends would like whack it, and we would try to hit each other with the balls because we were mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damn, it's his lawn darts.
Lawn darts.
Yeah, it was. Fun. Yeah, the pots. It was the pogo with the ring of Saturn. Exactly, Dan.
Yeah, I said too. Dan's from Canada too, like me. So we both said the same thing because Canadians all think alike.
So
that's not true, people. Don't fact check me. It's not true.
Didn't they ban lawn darts?
Yes. Well, you can still get lawn darts, but they're not metal anymore.
Well,
they use Velcro. They use
no
Velcro bullseyes that you just put at the either end, and they have little Velcro tips, and you throw them up. They're still weighted a little bit.
I've seen those. I've seen those.
Yeah.
I didn't play lawn darts when I was a kid. I knew.
Oh, I did.
I had, there was neighborhood kids that had them, but I didn't play because
I got a couple of
I
scars
don't know.
from them in my back. 'Cause
God,
that was
like,
dumb.
yeah.
Well, we used to shoot Roman candles at each other like a bunch of stupid idiots. But you know, when you were a kid,
Oh my God! Like, well, that's the thing. Like this is. I'm like, you don't understand what your parent, like, what a bunch of kids will do when there's no supervision. Because my parents would be like, as long as you're home by, like, we were in and out of each other's houses all day, you know, during the summer.
Street lights come on, you come home. Yeah.
You go home,
Stuck
but
in
like,
the winter.
and
because around here,
yeah,
street
well,
lights
like,
go
yeah,
on
in the
at
winter you
4:30
stayed inside.
in the winter.
No, because on Sundays we go over each other's house and make snow forts.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because you could walk, because my friends and I could walk to each other's houses when we were kids,
Yep.
and on Sundays we would stay home and you know,
You go bumper
build
ski.
snow forts and spend all day outside. And the cold didn't affect you then.
We used to go bumper
Hence
ski.
why. Yeah, and now I live in Florida and it gets below 65 and I bitch.
Do you remember those little tiny red skis you could buy? You just strap onto your shoes and then you could like sort of ski. Remember those? That's what we used to use for bumper skiing. We'd strap those on, and then my buddy's dad would get in his big pickup truck, and there'd be like 6 of us hanging off the back of the truck on the bumper, holding on the bumper.
That's
We're all
awesome.
sliding around. And then, of course, he'd hit the brakes, and one of us would go, woo! And just like, fly right past him. Then he'd be pointing and laughing, and this is an adult, right? We're all kids, like 10, 9, 10, 11 years old.
This is,
like, what the hell, man?
Adults did not care about her. like I remember like sledding on snow tubes, like you know, those big inflatable tubes, and you would just go on these hills lids. And we just sled all day. And I've had the wind knocked out of me so many times because you hit a bump and you get airborne and then you hit the ground.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep, I remember all that. Yeah, you do it on the steep hills. Because there was always a dare if you would do it, like especially with like, and then the summer was like who would do the biggest hill when you were on your bikes.
I mean, shit. At one of the playgrounds near where I lived, they used to have a little mini zip line that kids could run. You just hold it and you go whiz down this thing. So many kids fell off of that.
No, thing. John, we're not going to have to do that because global warming is a thing, and we're just going to get enveloped by the ocean anyway. If I did not invest in a house, I don't think I'd be staying in Florida. But I invested in a house, so now I'm stuck.
Yeah, well, you could sell it.
And my career's here, so.
Well, there you go. That's the big one.
Yeah. That's also security. And also I just want to be the annoying atheist queer person in my super red county. I want to be that person. I was wearing, okay, this is how weird it was.
You need a t-shirt that says, I'm that annoying atheist queer person your mother warned you about.
Well, I have one there's one that says college educated evil feminist slut. And nice. That's what I want. That's the shirt I want. But I was I have these shoes and they're like, you know, the gay, you know, rainbow, and I was in a Publix and this woman gave me side eye. Like she looked at my shoes and she looked at me and she gave me a look like I had the plague. And I'm just like, yes. I'm like, you are intimidated by me because I have rainbows on my shoes.
That's when you look at me and go, yeah, ooga booga.
You throw glitter on them and go, you're gay now. That's how it happens.
Glitter is
you just
fucking
need a queer person
evil.
to throw glitter on you and you're gay.
You'll
That's how it works.
Near me. You got glitter. Stay the hell away from me. That stuff is evil.
That stuff is, oh my God. I've done when my kids were little, and it will never leave.
Nope. I've still have glitter on shit from
later,
like 10 years ago.
Glitter in random places around your house.
Yep. Yep. They put a Christmas tree up in our lobby here in the building there, and there was glitter all over the goddamn floor, and people have been tracking it all up and down the hallway, and now it's everywhere.
No glitter, no tinsel.
No, especially if you have cats, because there's nothing like pulling tinsel.
No, I don't like my cats. Yeah, we don't do tinsel. Like we're very careful with the type of things we have in our house, because they will eat it, even though they don't
Radio
intend to.
Shack
I have one cat, Bellatrix, that I think she thinks she's constantly teething and she's constantly gnawing on things, and I'm like, you're gonna swallow something, and then I'm gonna have to go to the vet.
Yeah, but
Glitter on shit. My dog has me.
Some fucking medical guy was saying that every human being has like bits of glitter in them, like inside them.
I'm sure. I mean, we have microplastics in us, so it's
yeah.
So
glitter is just slightly larger microplastic. So
yeah, exactly. You know, I understand that, like, because I used to back in the day, I used to teach daycare, and there was a lot of glitter involved when you're working with 4-year-olds, because the school would buy it, and I would come home and like shake out my clothes because I'm around 4-year-olds all day, and it would just be glitter every so often coming out of my clothes. So
macroplastic,
that too. Anyway, we should get back to the topic.
Do we have to?
We can talk about how do you deconvert.
Well, you know, I've told you there's multiple ways. I've heard so many different ways that people have just given up on their beliefs. You know, and then there's people like our friend Arn, who was in the chat recently. I had him on a few years back. He's probably in my first or second year of doing the show, and him and I were quite similar. We don't really know if we really believed ever, and then we decided we wanted to get into some more interesting shit like the occult and paganism and stuff like that. And so we did that for a while and got out of that eventually, or at least got rid of the pseudoscientific fallacious nonsense about it. And then we just finally said, yeah, no, and it's just none of this shit is real. I'm going to stick to reality and see how it goes. And it's been great ever since.
Like I did a whole for our fire, I did a whole thing about the pagan religion, its history and its current manifestation, and like it attracted me because it had all the progressive things that I like, you know, and also made me feel like I was in control, because the time I got into it, I was going through a very difficult time, you know, and it's nice to feel like you're in control and you can use the universe to bring forth what you would like. But I always say, like, every belief is same salad, different dressing. You know, it's giving yourself, it's all based on, you know, this hope that that some kind of external source is going to bring change to you, and not like a practical, like a friend or like education.
Yeah, not happening.
And yeah, it is like it's appealing to the supernatural, and every religion does that pretty much. You know,
pretty
not
much.
Everyone. There's and I'm like there's
they all do to some degree.
Magical ones, but a good portion.
Yeah, no, the only change that's ever going to come to you is through you. Nobody else can change you. You have to change you. No one's going to be able to change you, right? It's you that changes, not anything. There could be outside influences that start a change, sure, but you're going to change when you want to change, and you're going to do it yourself.
Right, and sometimes it's not easy.
My bandana thanks you. I have like 15 of these things. They're all the same.
My husband has several bandanas. Yeah. So, you know,
you got some other ones with like, because people, I know I'm into skulls and stuff, obviously, because I got a ring like that.
Yeah.
It's got a skull on it, and dragons, and you see, I even still wear a ring that I used to wear when I was Wiccan, that just to remind me of those days. So there you go. But it's right beside my atheist ring. So there you go.
My wedding band has the Aries symbol and the Libra symbol and a waxing moon, because I'm an Aries and my husband is a Libra, and we got the waxing moon to always move towards new beginnings.
Yeah, I gotta get my tattoo fixed.
This was expensive. This is $900. I'm wearing I'm gonna
Libra in here too. So
I also have my Aries symbol on my arm. So, you know,
dragonfly.
With my dragonfly, yeah. So
Cool.
like I have a whole, you know,
Well,
it's
thank
a
you,
thing.
Miss Non Sequitur.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. The hair is pretty awesome. I still like. I'll be standing somewhere in a mall, or I don't really go to malls anymore, but only if I'm going to the Lego store. But I'll be standing somewhere like in a grocery store or something like that, or outside of a movie theater, waiting to get into the movie, and I'll feel like touching. Someone's touching my hair. Like, oh, you've got such beautiful hair. Like, people don't even walk up to you and say, "You mind if I touch your hair?" Which I'll usually say, "No, knock yourself out." But they just, and
Please
it's
just
always,
ask.
it's always just
ask.
little old ladies. It's always little old ladies that are doing it. They come out, like, "Oh, it's such beautiful hair." I'm like, well, thanks.
How did you find out you were the 604 atheist? Dan wants to know.
Come on, Dan. You know how area codes here work. I'm in the 604 area code, which is Vancouver, Lower Mainland. So there you go. That's why. So I give a hint to where I am on the planet by using.
I just say I'm from Florida or Satan's asshole. Either way.
I have a picture of Satan's asshole on my phone, actually, if you want to see it. No, you don't.
That's kinky.
He's good.
Like
a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio. Y'all know what that means.
Scorpio.
What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. You know, it's a funny thing about astrology, and my little niece likes that stuff, is, oh, you know, oh, sorry, how Canadian. That's all right, no worries. Just give her, grab a Timmy's and some Timbits and give her. But the funny thing is, the placement of the stars when astrology came into existence, they're no longer in the same places. So you're no longer
weird.
If you were a Libra, you're no longer a Libra because they're in different. Whoopsie daisy, they're in different places now. Another thing, if you go to any other planet in our solar system, those star formations will look different. Even our moon, they'll look different. Which sounds weird because they're so far away, but doesn't matter. You're still in a different location. They are going to be slightly different. So
yeah.
And they can't possibly have any effect on you, period. They're too far away.
No, because when Mercury's in retrograde, that means I'm having a bad day.
No, you're having a bad day because you're having a bad day. It's that
well, it was. I saw this really great meme where Mercury's in retrograde, blah 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 blah, and then Mercury's like, "Stop blaming me for your shit, Karen."
Yeah. Jonathan made a good point too. Originally, there were 13. You are correct. The 13th was Ophiuchus. I always tell them, actually, there were 14. I was born under Pistachio, the nut.
Pistachio. I had it was really funny because when I was into all this shit, and when we moved, I decided to go through all my stuff, and I had an astrology book where I had so much fucking shit highlighted, and I was I cross-referenced with other books that also said other different things. Apparently, I'm supposed to be very athletic. I'm not. I'm very clumsy, and I don't run.
Me too.
And if I am running, that means somebody is chasing me. So please help. So it was one of those things. I would always it's not exact science, and I'm like, it's not science.
It's not science at all. Yeah, exactly.
It's not science.
Pseudoscience is what it's called.
Yeah, it's one of those things that youth. It's the confirmation bias. This is saying the thing I wanted to say. It makes me feel good, so I'm going to double down and say this thing is telling something. Like numerology says something about me. I'm a 4 apparently in numerology. Whatever. I don't remember what that means, but I remember the number.
Yay, 4! Great.
No, I would have to look it up, and I don't want to.
Does that mean I'm ugly?
You're average.
You're just 1 to 10. I'm just a 4. It's funny because TikTok has those things on a scale of 1 to 10. How good looking are you? I was getting 3, and then I did it once and it came out 3, and I'm like, that's not right. I got to do it again. It came out 5, and I go, right. Well, that's an improvement.
I couldn't do that. Like I don't like I'm too nice. Like I wouldn't want. I'd be like 10,
10
9 and a
on
half.
the pH scale. Oh,
10
way to
on a-
remind me of my job, Jason. Jeez. I try to read chemistry at work. Thank you very much.
Like I'm just saying, like tangent. Like I feel so bad. Like I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings because you're just a random on the internet. And I'm like, what if you're having a really bad day and I say something mean to you and then like you go on a spiral? I don't know. It should be a plus
whatever you want
boost.
mean to me. I'll probably just laugh at you. Oh, was that supposed to be mean? Was that supposed to hurt my feelings? Well, I'm sorry. I only have one feeling
I don't
left,
like.
and it's
I
already
don't
been hurt by
care.
somebody
Like
else.
if you, if your
cared, it
opinion
might.
matters to me, or if I had like a friend
Right.
that was like, you know, you're not as attractive as you think you are, I'd be like, well, fuck you. I know I'm easy on the
them
eyes.
needing
It's
to
fine.
tell
It's-
you that speaks volumes, by the way, Ellen.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, well, okay.
They have to sort of put themselves on a bit of a higher pedestal by telling you that, so because they probably
Right, and I'm like,
insecure about their own looks.
It's all very silly.
It is.
like I always tell myself, I'm like, I'm easy on the eyes, and I have great hair. It does not matter. As I
You
told
have great
Chris
hair.
Shelton, I am a walking embarrassment with great hair.
Chris.
That is Helen.
I met
walking
him
embarrassment with great hair because I do have great hair. I will
Fifth
own
Forum
that.
number 2, number 3, I think is the one I've met him at. Anyway, I've had him on the show too. Chris was an ex Scientologist, so
yeah,
had a few ex Scientologists.
Yeah,
you want to talk about a
he's
destructive
he's supposed to be on my
system?
show.
Fuck,
He's going to be on my show. Oh my god, he's done 2 talks for Recovering from Religion. I was on his show last month talking about cults and deconstructing from cults, and we had a really good conversation. And then he's supposed to be on my channel, I think in March. I have him on the schedule. So he's a really, really, really nice person. I really like him, and he does a lot of work. Like his channel's insane. Yeah, he does so much work.
Yeah, he does. He's got a lot of subscribers too. I've been doing this for I don't know. I want to say at least 6 years, and I've got well over 600 videos up on my channel, and I haven't even broken the 4,000 subscriber mark yet.
Listen, I was so happy to get over 100 in a month.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I was like, but then I realized I've been in the activist circle for 4 years. So I'm like, just be my friend. Come, you don't even have to watch every video. You can just like, but like my watch time is like 11 minutes.
Oh, shit, they've been going for an hour and a half for fuck's sakes. Holy crap. I didn't realize it was.
I know. Well, like, it was like I think me and Greg went for over 2. Like Secularary, when he was my first.
Well, Elliot's a goddamn chatty Cathy doll. You pull that string and he ain't shutting up.
Well, that's the thing. Like him and I, if we get together, and we both like to talk.
Yeah, no, he's great. I do. Well, that's something else I do. I'm pretty much one of the main hosts now on Skeptic Haven's Let's Talk show, which is every Sunday, and he does it with me quite a bit. I've just did one with Jim Barrows. I've done one with Aaron. He came on and put up with my bullshit for an hour and a half or so.
Speaking of Jim,
well, Aaron's great to have on.
Yeah,
I like.
I just like Aaron. You're like, you know, just to give him a compliment. That whenever he starts spouting science stuff, I always learn something because and I like that. It's like when I listen to Force, I always learn something. I was like, I didn't know that. And I go, I'm probably not going to remember it, but I did learn something new today.
No, he'll fill your head with some knowledge, man. I got to do. I made a video with him when we were in Alberta, we went to the Badlands. We went to the Tyrrell Museum there, which has all the dinosaurs, and we did little video clips about certain things, and I kind of monkeyed them all together and put it up on my channel. It's not on the live. It's actually just a video that I put up there. It's a lot of fun. I kind of sound like a moron in the background while he's spouting all this, smart stuff. And I'm like,
I have,
so it's like,
I have
pretty
people in
funny.
my life that I'm like,
Hey, Kelly.
I'm not a slouch. I think I'm smart, but I'm a jack of all trades. I have a Rolodex of random facts in my head that I can pull out at random times, depending about what we're talking about. But I am a master of none.
Yeah. That's
I'm very good for that.
I
It's the ADHD way.
am a chemist. That is what I do. That is my job. I work for an environmental company testing soils and oil and antifreeze. And I also, while testing stuff, I've also remake antifreeze. So we call it eco-freeze. So I reblend the cleaned glycol and add the water and reblend up new antifreeze. And then I got to test all that as well for the Canadian specs on antifreeze. So, and I do lots of work with like gas chromatography, ICAP, which is plasma based, where you can, like we test for heavy metals like vanadium, silicon, stuff like that. And it'll pop up because it comes out on the light spectrum, and that all the elements fall differently on the light spectrum. So I get to tell you what's inside your waste oil before they ship it out to be recycled and stuff like that. So you're ADHD sometimes. Sometimes.
See, like, and I think that's really cool. Like, I work in healthcare, but
I don't have a degree in chemistry. I was self-taught basically and learned.
Well,
and
like Kelly technically does not have a degree in geology, and they published a paper. So I told him he's a scientist now because he published. Like,
yeah.
Like I.
Think about it. The first scientists didn't have degrees, right?
Yeah.
They just got good at what they do.
I always say that a degree shows that you're a very good hoop jumper.
Well, you did well in school, but yeah.
Well,
I am certified to do my job, so there you go.
Yeah, well, like Cara Griffin, they're anthropologist. And we joke all the time, please do not give me any sort of credit. I'm like, Dr. Cara Griffin is like, please, I just have letters after my name. Like Dr. Ben says the same thing to me. He's like, it's just letters after my name. Like, exactly. He's like, unless I'm giving you medical treatment, don't call me Dr. Ben.
I'm still teaching myself chemistry too. I listen to audiobooks on chemistry and stuff like that because I want to learn more and more as much as I possibly can. So that's in between actual series that I listen to as well. But yeah, no, and I have books here on chemistry, stuff like that. So
speaking of books,
probably 15 or 20 different books.
I have not read Heinlein ever, which I'm
really? I find that hard to believe.
I know. So when Jim was on like 3 weeks ago, he was like, he mentioned the book of Job that Heinlein wrote, and I ordered it, and I'm starting to read it.
Oh yeah, he mentioned that too when I was on last time.
Yeah, so because that story's great. Like, it's terrible and great at the same time. Yeah. But it was, I'm starting, and he's like, you've never read Heinlein? I go, no. I know, shocking everybody. Somebody else said to me, like, you haven't read Stranger in a Strange Land as a poly person. I'm like, listen.
Good point. Good point.
I know.
I have a couple of Heinlein books on Audible. So
I got this. I'm actually going to not listen to it. I'm actually going to sit down and read it. I haven't read a book in a really long time, but it's not that long, so I can probably get it done in like a couple weeks if I get really into it. I listen to Audible a lot because I drive, and now Spotify, because I have a subscription, has a bunch of books on it. I'm listening to one about cults, and why cults form. Because I love psychology shit. Even though I've graduated from college, I still study psychology in my free time, like you do chemistry. Like, it's just one of those things that I'm like, I just want to learn more stuff. and especially like group psychology is something that I'm very into right now. So,
have you ever? You're canceled. Have you ever seen Starship Troopers?
Yes.
Okay, that's a Heinlein.
Great movie. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And I haven't had 2 notes, Helen.
One of his earlier series, or one of his earlier books.
I really love that movie too. It's fun, and it was when Neil Patrick Harris was a cute little adorable little man.
Sorry, Dan mentioned one of my favorites. Dan mentioned one of my favorite Heinlein books. The Moon is a Harsh Mistress.
Ooh,
that's a good one. It's a really good one.
I haven't okay.
That's
I'm
one of the ones I have on
Heinlein.
Audible. Oh yeah. You do it because Heinlein's got really good ideas, mostly science fiction.
The book has nothing to do with the movie. Okay, Dan. I guess Starship Trooper.
Well,
nothing.
Yes and no, but yeah.
Well, isn't that all Hollywood movies
based
that are
on
based
the
on books?
idea of the book? But it's pretty much just been totally
it's the idea. It's an idea.
Yeah.
No, and I think that's great. I did not know. I don't know why. Probably because I haven't seen the movie in a long time, and I just didn't. I probably know. Now that people are mentioning stuff, I've heard of Stranger in a Strange Land. I just haven't read it, and people are shocked because I'm a poly person, and I was just I know. I read The Ethical Slut.
I'll get to it eventually, okay? Jesus.
Yeah, I'll get to it.
There's a gazillion books I want to read. So
well, the thing is though, is that I don't have time. It takes a lot for me to read a book. Not because that's why I listen to books, is I have a long commute.
Yeah, I do.
That I listen
I'll read
to a
it
lot
and then
of
I'll pick
Audible
up where I
books.
left off on Audible, right in the lab, because I like to read at home. As a matter of fact, at our latest holiday party for work, they have a bingo, get to know me bingo, where you go around and ask people, do you have more than 3 kids? Did you graduate? Did you drop out? Have you been around the world? And one of the questions was, did you read more than 10 books in the past year? And many came up to me, they'd ask me that, and I'm like, yeah, lots more than that. Really? I'm like, yeah. I read and listen to books all the time. How do you have time?
Can you? Okay.
Well, fuck, I just do. I make the time.
I say, I listen to books, so I count that as reading. I'm using my ear holes.
Reading with your ears
instead of my eyeballs.
That's what I tell them.
I'm reading with my ears because I'm still listening to it and I'm absorbing the information. And also, it's very helpful for me as an ADHD person because I can rewind and not get so much. It works with a different part of my brain than what reading does. It helps because reading is very focused, and when you're an ADHD person, you can absorb information while you're doing something else. I call it the backup motor. The backup motor is picking this up, even though it looks like I don't. Because then somebody will mention something, and I'm like, oh yeah, I read a thing about that, and then I'll start again the Rolodex of useless shit that I get on my brain. Facts.
I have a solution for you, John.
Steel trap.
By the way, if you don't read because you have to constantly look up books. Well, how about read the dictionary first and then start reading?
Oh my God.
I have read the dictionary. I read the dictionary when I was like 15 years old.
I just remember the episode of Animaniacs when Yakko had they did every word in the dictionary. That's the only thing irreverent things that pop into my brain.
Yeah. I don't remember
great.
Half the shit I read.
The Universe song is also the Galaxy song from Animaniacs is a bop. Even though Pluto's not a planet anymore, it's still a bop. Highly recommend. Just things that make me happy. We're talking about 90s nostalgia and Maniacs.
Oh, Animaniacs, yeah. I never really got into that one.
Oh, you would even like it now. It still holds up.
I was more of a Tiny Toons guy.
I like Tiny Toons too. That was a good show.
Because I was raised on Looney Tunes.
I related to Babs. Like Babs is like my spirit animal.
I related to Foulmouth.
Oh yeah. I miss my night. Like
I actually have a tattoo of Dizzy Devil on my shoulder too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I got it like it's old now. I think I got it when I was 18, 19.
Me and my best friend are so my best friend's turning 50 this year. And he wants to get a tattoo. And I said, okay, I'm due for a new tattoo. So we'll go. Our birthday's in April because we're only 4 days apart. I'm April 9th. He's April 5th. And we always celebrate our birthday together. And I was like, listen, motherfucker. Like I texted him the other day. I was like, we have to plan this now. I'm debating between two things I'm going to get. I haven't decided yet. I'll come with something. You'll find out. I'm not going to tell anybody what it is. You'll just find out later. It might not be for my birthday. It might be, but somewhere in 2025, I'm going to get a tattoo.
Yeah, I wish I could get more tattoos, but unfortunately, I cannot get more tattoos.
Is that because it's not finances? So if you're...
No, I can't drink anymore either, which sucks because I like beer.
Oh, is it blood pressure shit?
Yeah, well, I'm on anticoagulants.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You go, if I try to go get a tattoo, they'll ask you that. Are you on anticoagulants, or blood thinners, as they're also known, but anticoagulants don't ask.
Yeah, the last one I got. I got this done. When I got this done, they asked me that. So,
So they need to know. Like some places will do it, some won't.
You're not getting a tattoo that involves e-ink tattoos, so we'll keep waiting. Because I have
UV reactive tattoos. Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember those. I used to put those on as a kid.
I've seen listen, if one shows up, if I get something and one has it, and I'll put it on me.
Yeah, sure.
I got no shame. Bubbling can come from some inks. Yeah, we know that. But hopefully that you're going to a reputable artist.
I actually saw a post on Facebook that somebody had to go get checked because they had parts of and it was the red ink that did it, raised bumps on their tattoo.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out they had skin cancer, so they had to actually get the whole thing fucking removed. Yeah. 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 Pretty scary.
Well, which brings me what I like my rules about tattoos is that it's treated like you're getting married. That you plan to have it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Think about it before you get it done and realize that if you want to remove it, it's going to be really fucking painful and expensive.
Yeah.
That's my allegory. Because I think for a while of what I want.
Something filled in so it doesn't look the way it does. Because I like the tattoo. It's got the little Libra logo in it. I'm just going to get them to fill that in.
How do we start talking about tattoos? How did we get here? Oh, we were talking about weird things that we like about like when we were in like our pagan days, and that turned into talking about our tattoos.
One place to another.
It's gonna go.
That's something else I do too.
What?
Sing in a band.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah. Do you have music on YouTube that you want to share with the crowd?
You know the music that you hear at the beginning and outros of my show?
That I've heard. I do.
That's me.
It's a bop. Oh, that's you. That's so
cool. That's me.
I do not ask me to sing. You will not like it.
You know what's hilarious?
I can carry a tune in a bucket, but it has holes.
My drummer can play anything. You throw an instrument in front of him, he'll figure it out in a few minutes. Like he'd never played a violin before in his life, and he found his grandma's violin, and he just kind of goes, I've seen people play this, and he just kind of was fucking around with it for a second. Then all of a sudden he starts fucking doing solos on it, and I'm like, what the hell, man? He's like a savant or something. I go, Jesus Christ, kids that have been trying to learn violin for years are really pissed at you right now.
Right.
But he'll play anything. The only thing he can't do is sing. I said, that's why you got me, Colin. Because I can sing. I can't really play much else. I can play little bits of instruments, but that's
Todd has perfect pitch, which is pretty impressive. But he doesn't have the range in his vocals that he would like to have. He has a certain scale of notes he can sing. But
yeah, me too.
There's a range, that he can sing, but he does have
most people have. So. Average person has like a maybe.
There's some songs like I did choir in high school.
Octave range. Then you get people that have like 8 octave ranges, and you're like, holy shit! It's like what?
I have an alto range that I learned in high school because I sing in choir.
I started singing in high school.
Yeah, I took singing lessons when I was in high school, and I was also in drama because I was that kid. But you get older and you lose a lot of stuff, and also I'm also older, so the vocal cords are not the quality if you don't keep up with things.
Yeah. If you don't constantly use them, they can sort of shrink up on you.
Yeah. Well, and
I was out of commission for over a year.
Like I don't think people appreciate how much work it is to be a singer.
Not that big a deal.
Well, I think like if we're talking about like let's say we're talking about like operatic singing.
Yeah,
that's a lot of work.
That's pretty hardcore.
Or I've seen some metal singers that can sing very beautiful melodic tunes and then go into death growls.
Yeah,
very impressive.
Like David Draymond from Disturbed, like what he did with The Sound of Silence. Like when you hear him do that, and he's got smooth and silky, and then he goes into the growl. I'm like, that's good right there.
Yeah, it's fucking impressive.
Corey says fail. I don't know what that means.
Tatiana from Ginger, beautiful melodic singer, can do death growls like a fucking beast. She's insane. It's very impressive. And that's a lot of work, like again, we're just talking about random shit now. Welcome to my live stream where we talk about random shit. No, like I did design this sort of thing to be like, yes, we can have a topic, but if we move on to something else, that's okay too. Because again, putting the human in
we do that on my show too.
Right? Yeah, like there is no rule.
You had some questions for me about
Deconversion. I did. I was very good for an hour.
And there are commonalities to them.
We started talking about Stimpy, and then it just went off the rails.
That's all right.
Okay. But it is 9:22, and I really want to eat dinner.
You haven't even eaten yet. Well, mind you, neither have I.
I came straight home to do this because I was running late. So I have not eaten dinner.
I just thought it was hilarious when I was like all ready to go last week.
Listen,
you were like,
this is why I have a spreadsheet of who's on my show. Because if you're not in the spreadsheet, I'm going to forget. Because you DM'd me, and I was like, "Oh no, I have Greg." And like, luckily, I
got all the receipts right here.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bad friend. Okay, I'm a bad friend.
No such thing as a bad friend.
You can, you can
really
podcast shame me.
Oh, I already released one 5 minutes ago. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so
why would I do that? I wouldn't do that to you. Oh, I've done that. I've double scheduled people too, and people are generally pretty understanding.
I'm just glad because I didn't have because I have the Punk Apostate on this Saturday, and I just happen to have Thursday open. So I was like, "You want to do Thursday?" Because I can put you in.
Watch that guy. He's slippery.
If you are not on the spreadsheet, you might get replaced, even though I asked you to be on the show. This is why, I have a spreadsheet. the same. I learned it from RFR. Because I book guests for the RFRX. It's like, okay, I'm like, I book a guest. I need to put them in a date. By the way, you need to come on RFRX.
We were talking about me coming on and talking.
Probably be summer.
That's fine.
We're booked almost all the way through May.
Okay.
I'm booked all the way almost through April. So. No, I'm booked all the way to beginning of May is when I can actually get you in if you want to be on the show. I know. Because I know a lot of people. I'm pretty much booked up
to March right now, so I got a couple of spots that I'm waiting to hear back from people in February.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I just bugged people. I was like, "Want to be on my show?" Or I actually did have a couple people like DM me and said they wanted to be on, which is very nice. Yeah. No, I am actually drinking wine tonight, Scott. I don't do dry Januaries.
I don't do dry anything. What the hell?
I don't do dry anything.
I live in Vancouver. We're known for rain here. I don't do dry anything. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't rain here all the time.
So, that being said, Neil, before I chill your shit. Mm-hmm.
What
do you do? Tell other people. Yeah. I'll put your link. I'll put the fucking link for your channel in my fucking
in the fucking chat there.
I'll put it in the chat.
People, check out the chat.
Not Neil Gaiman. He's an asshole. Sorry.
Neil Gaiman?
Oh my God! There's some,
but I know some of them met him. Said he was pretty cool. Vancouver's pretty awesome. It's super fucking expensive.
He's a terrible person. I found out, and I'm very sad about it. So, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, that's too bad. I hate it when people use.
Yeah, I'm sad. He's a sexual abuser. He's a terrible person, and I'm very sad because I have so much of his shit. So.
Me too.
And I met him at a Tori Amos concert back in 2001. All right. So so everybody go to Neil's channel. If you are not subscribed, shame on you. And then so also tell the people what you're up to is coming up. Tell the people.
Well,
tell yourself.
We go live. It's myself and my co-host and producer, Mr. Mikey Famine.
I gotta get Mikey on my show.
Yeah, you do. It's a lot of fun. We talk to folks about how they found their way free from their previous belief systems. Doesn't necessarily have to be religion. We actually have somebody coming up. Hang on. We have somebody coming up who is an ex-conspiracy theorist. So, yeah, her name is Stephanie Kemmerer, and she'll be on the show after the February 1st Lego stream. We've got Jeremy Hiles on the 18th, Kent Stollard on the 25th, and I have 2 dates open in February that I'm just waiting to hear back from people. And then we're doing a returns series now, like Deconversion Stories Returns kind of thing. Like, so we got the guy we were talking about earlier, Mr. Secular Rarity, will be returning to the show. I've already had a few folks back onto the show, like Vice Rhino, Frustrated Atheist, and somebody else that I'm not remembering off the top of my head here. So we are starting to have people back because, sometimes I hear from them, there was something I forgot to talk about, or I'd like to update what I'm doing now. Because we also talk about their activism. So
I can talk about that. I'll come on and talk about my activism.
But yeah, you might get
my deconversion.
You might get a little tug on the shirt by me if we want to have you back on the show.
I'll just DM you. You're like, Neil, put me on the schedule.
But I am basically looking for people for the 15th, 22nd, 29th of March. Everything else up until that point is already booked. And the first Saturday, normally the first Saturday of every month, we have a little fun show where I and whoever else wants to, because I had Alex, progressive, what's his name, come on and build with me. So we do a Lego stream where we build stuff, or I build stuff mostly. And I basically just, you can't really see me because I aim the camera down at what I'm building so people can watch and see what I'm building. And that's how ridiculous the instructions are for Lego now. Here, put these two pieces on out of 9,000 pieces, and now go to the next
Nobody
page.
wants Joe Rogan on their show, John.
Nobody wants fucking Joe Rogan.
I used to like him.
Jason's coming on, but I can bump him for you. Jason, you're welcome. You're welcome.
We're gonna we'll fight like I'll be on your show and talk about activism and
I because as you know, Helen, I always have links to recovering from religion in every video, and we mention it in almost every video.
We really appreciate that.
It's a great organization, right? So
I know. I've been with them a while. I love it. I love my people, and I love what we do. And I'm just gonna.
Daryl's hysterical.
Yes, Daryl is Daryl. I call him my weird, funny uncle.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe him. I had him on the show, and I noticed right away on the bookshelf, he's got a dildo sitting on the bookshelf.
So here's a Daryl story. So when I first joined. When I first joined Recovering from Religion, we were having just this casual fundraiser, and he said, if you win, I'm going to do a raffle, and if I win, I'll send you a vibrator. I have a vibrator because I won the raffle, and it's still sealed with his signature on it.
Yeah,
so when we went, I've been volunteering with RFR for 4 years. When we went to Excursion this year, I gave him a vibrator. I was like, for my 4-year anniversary, I bequeath you a vibrator. So that's the type of friendship we have.
I don't know why anyone would want to get Joe Rogan on their show. The guy's a fucking clown.
I don't either, because he's just not a good person.
No. And he platforms.
He had a guy on. This was really funny. He had a guy on it was like a Bigfoot conspiracy theorist, and the way that they said that the reason why Bigfoot appears in our reality is because of portals and other universes, and Bigfoot can go through the portals. And all I could think of Portal 2 and my whenever I think of portals, I just think of that video game. So I was just imagining Bigfoot hitting a gun, and this big orange portal shows up, and he just steps out. It's just so dumb. And I'm like, I'm supposed to take this motherfucker seriously.
Yeah, no, you don't.
It was very funny. He's a special boy. Oh, that was on a Punk Apostate. I saw that because it was on a Punk Apostate episode.
There you go.
So
can I finish shilling my stuff? Or?
Yes, you can shill. Sorry. It is the ADHD way. I am so sorry. I love you. Please shill your shit.
Yeah, so my channel is Neil the 604 Atheist, and that's what I do. We do deconversion stories, and then we have after parties where the guests can meet more people from the community and have some fun. And also, if you do have a story that you want to share, you can reach me at 604atheist@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you're interested in watching those call-in type shows, you can watch me every second Sunday on the Talk. It's a show. The show's called
Let's Talk.
My brain not working. Let's Talk. Yeah, I'm going to Talk Heathen. I want to say Talk Heathen. No, that's not it. I've been on that, but that's not it. Yes, it's Let's Talk, and it's on the Skeptic Haven Network.
Yes, I'm putting the links in.
I should do an episode with you one day.
Oh my God, I know the people. I was doing stuff with Skeptic Haven, and then I've been so fucking busy. It's not because I don't love what they do. I'm so busy, guys. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm so busy. Yes, I'm kind of being that way. But it's not because I don't love what Skeptic Haven does. I'm just a busy girl. But I can just tell. We know people. I can be like, me and Neil need to do a call-in show together.
Yeah, I'll talk to Wes, and he'll. I think
Wes and I are friends.
Yeah, that's a good guy.
He is a big old sweet potato. I am but we don't have any morals. We're all assholes.
That's right. That's right. We're evil baby eating.
We are. I
prefer mine barbecued.
You should come on the nonprofits at the ACA.
I used to be a regular on the nonprofits.
I can bug some people.
Yeah. Okay. I
But you're
enjoyed
busy.
it.
Like you have your own.
But
You're doing what you're.
it's not really my thing, the nonprofits.
That's okay. That's fine. I don't care. I was just. I think it's just because I want to hang out with you.
I want to do an episode of Atheist Experience because that's the only thing I haven't done for those guys.
That's me too. I've done Truth Wanted. I've done nonprofits. I've done Tucky. And I just need to do AXP, and then I have complete the quad.
Gotcha. Yeah. I want to do
the Venn diagram of
I did, however, finally get to do an episode of call-in show with Mr. Dillahunty, which was one of my I checked off my bucket list.
Check off list, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you can come do an episode with me.
I want to do one with Seth.
He has not asked me back yet.
I want to do one with Seth. That's my
Seth is a good guy.
He was the one that kind of spurred me into activism because he
bought me dessert once.
We hung out at Free Flow 2 years ago, and he signed my book, and and I've got him to do a couple episodes of RFRX. He's the nicest person. he is, and that was the thing that he inspired me. He was the person that inspired me to get into activism because I always told him you're kind. I don't because I want to be a kind person. I don't like people being mean to each other because it's just my I'm not saying to learn from. I'm not saying there's not an place for that, aggressive sort of really challenging people, but that's not my personality, and he's more reflective of my type of personality. So he was the one that inspired me to get involved with activism. I told him that to his face, and he gave me a big old hug. And he's the one that inspired me to do deconversion stories. Yeah. Yeah, you inspired me to do this channel, so it's all coming full circle.
There you go. Well, I'm glad I.
Okay, so everybody goes to. Yeah, Johnny and Kelly got me involved with the ACA. So I saw Kelly's fault.
Yeah, Kelly, same. Johnny asked me to do it, and I did a bunch of episodes with the nonprofits, but
it's not your thing, and that's fine.
It's not really my format thing. Because they always want you to go and fucking look up a bunch of stuff, and I'm like,
you have to do homework. It's the only show of the ACA you have to do homework.
I can't. I don't have the time for that. So
no, then that's fair. That's fair. So I get that. Luckily I sit at a desk all day, and I can do my ACA notes while I'm at work.
Oh, a little trick about Seth. If you're talking to Seth,
yes,
right, and he says, "Oh, that's crazy," that means he's bored of what you're talking about, and he wants to go. I like that. I heard him say that once, and then we were talking one time. He goes, "Oh, that's crazy." I go, "All right, fine, get out of here." He started laughing.
So next week, okay, so Brentley's going to be here on Saturday night.
Sorry.
I'm going to show my shit now. Do you have anything else to show?
No, that's good. That's pretty much
okay. Cool. All right, I gotta get in the habit of putting things in a doobly doo, but I'm terrible at this. I gotta become more professional at my job. Now that I started a channel, I'll do that tomorrow. I have goals, people. Jason did help. He said he was going to teach me. Jason did tell me he was going to teach me how to edit and how people get notifications, and he was going to help me teach me how to do that. So thank you, Jason.
Nice.
I love my friends, so thank you. He sent me messages on BlueSky, and he was like, "Helen, I'll be on your show, but let me help you." And I was like, okay, thank you. So I have wonderful people in my life. So, but okay. So the Punk Apostate's going to be here, which would be a good bookend to this conversation, because we're going to talk about the rabbit hole of indoctrination on Saturday. There you go. So it'll be a nice little bookend. And then Mateo, will be on next Thursday. Do I know what he's going to talk about? No. Do I think he remembered that he booked to be on my show? Not sure, but I'll find out.
Just
but no, Teo, I love Teo. I love him. He is one of the nicest people I know, and I wish that I could, because I'm not going to go to South America, but I would love to hang out with him in person.
South America? In Mexico?
Teo, yeah. It was in South America. I don't know. I know where he lives, but because of safety reasons, I do not say.
I thought he was in Mexico. That's not South America.
Isn't that no?
That's North America. Mexico's North
Is
America.
It?
Yeah. You know, North America has like 28 countries or something, right?
Oh my God, cat. My cat is demanding.
It's not just US, Canada, and Mexico. There's lots of other countries, like Panama.
I feel so bad. I feel very... Oh my God, my Kenneth's never clean wants me to give them attention. So I'm going to leave now.
Yeah, Kat's like, feed me. Feed me.
She wants TREATS. Okay, like, come say hi to the people. No, stop it. Okay, this is, say hi.
Aww.
Say hi. Okay, there you go. All right, she's like, fuck you, Mom. All right. Again, please go. Okay, so go to Neil's channel. If you want to be on Neil's show, contact him. What's your email again?
604atheist@gmail.com.
Okay, so do that if you want to. I had and Neil's very I've done the show. I'm going to do it again. I'll just DM you, and because it's a good time, and you're also just one of the nicest people in this space. I always enjoy talking to you. I don't talk to you as much as I used to because again I'm busy.
Just keep me offline.
I know. Yeah, I'm sure. At some point, we're going to end up at an atheist convention together.
I've been to many. Yeah. I'll be at BajaCon again in August.
I have you need it. I would have to get a passport. I have to get a passport.
Yeah, that's not hard.
No, I can technically.
All you need is a face so they can take your picture.
Well, and then technically I can apply to be a Canadian citizen because my mom is still one.
Yes, you would actually be
fast. So I can. I'm probably. So I'm just lazy. But eventually I'll get to Canada. Because I did tell my husband that I'm you really need to go to Canada, and I'm going to show you where my family comes from because they're from Quebec. They're from Quebec, which is a wonderful province.
Yeah.
It's Montreal's a very pretty city.
Nice. Yeah, I've been there.
But I'll go to Vancouver. I'll go. I will do some stuff in Vancouver.
Vancouver's got a lot of things you could. It's one of the only cities in the world where you can go sailing, skiing, hiking, shopping, all in the same day.
True. This is true. So anyway, so go subscribe to Neil's shit if you haven't done it already. So go do that, and then
yes,
and email him if you want to be on. And if you want to go watch him on Skepticavian when he does Let's Talk. We'll probably just bug Wes for us to be on an episode together. It'll be fun. And then also as well. So please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button because that really helps the algorithm. Also comment, even if it's negative, because that drives the algorithm up. And people will come to my channel.
Just leave a comment. That Neil guy's creepy.
That's all you gotta do. And just be great.
Even I left a comment.
I had someone leave non-constructive criticism a couple weeks ago. And I was like, thank you so much for your non-constructive criticism and driving people to my channel.
Yeah, that's right.
I will remove comments though if you're being mean. Though I do not allow people to be mean. You can if it's dumb, that's fine. But if you're being terrible, just put comment. Yes, Miss Sequiters, just put comment.
Sorry, I commented already, so you guys can't put first.
First, yeah. Everyone have a wonderful week. Give someone a compliment. Stay skeptical, stay kind, and I keep having conversations, and I will see you all.
Use your voice.
Do I have a voice? Do I have a voice?
I said,
use your voice. Use your voice. I thought you were telling me to use a voice, and I was like, I don't
speak up for those that can't speak up for themselves.
Yeah, speak up for people that cannot speak up for themselves. And
remember, like I always say at the end of my show, it's called faith because it's not knowledge.
All right, and that is a good note to end the show on. And good night, everybody. Bye.